Area forecast discussion, Jacksonville. A weakening high-pressure ridge remains influential today, sustaining mostly dry conditions with limited moisture. Precipitable water values staying between 1 and 1.25 inches. This keeps convective potential low, with only isolated, weak sea breeze showers expected east of the coastal interior and the best chance of late-day thunderstorms confined to inland southeast Georgia. These storms are likely to be brief and isolated, forming as the east coast sea breeze collides with slightly deeper inland moisture. Temperatures are trending hot, nearing record levels, something to keep in mind for density altitude considerations, especially over inland fields where highs will push into the low 90s. Tonight brings stable conditions under continued high pressure influence, with mostly clear skies and calm weather prevailing across the region. The light southerly flow will help suppress widespread fog development, though inland airfields could still see patchy morning fog around sunrise, where marginally reduced visibility to MVFR levels is possible between 3 and 7 a.m. Otherwise, flight conditions remain solidly VFR overnight, with some scattered low clouds developing at coastal airfields around 2,500 to 3,000 feet due to modest onshore flow. Winds will be light and variable overnight, with southeasterly winds picking up slightly into the 8 to 11 knot range by afternoon. Rainfall chances remain too low to factor into operational planning for any of the major terminals. Area forecast discussion, Miami. A dominant surface high off New England continues to drive stable weather across South Florida today and into Saturday, keeping conditions predominantly dry. However, an upper-level disturbance pushing a narrow band of moisture across the Florida Straits may trigger a few isolated showers near the far southern tip of the peninsula, mainly south of the major terminals. From a flight ops perspective, expect steady easterly winds throughout the day, picking up into the 10 to 15 knot range with gusts reaching 25 knots by mid-afternoon, which could create moderate crosswind components at east-west runways. Winds ease slightly overnight but remain persistent. Temperatures will be warm but manageable, with highs topping out in the mid-80s east and low 90s, which may have minor impacts on performance out of southwest Florida airfields. Tonight, conditions stay largely VFR, but look for scattered lower ceilings at times along the East Coast metro areas, with some periods of marginal visual flight rules as clouds dip to around 2,000 to 2,500 feet. Inland airfields will see cooler overnight lows and calm surface winds, but no major visibility restrictions are expected. Overall, pilots can anticipate a breezy but manageable day with isolated convection staying well to the south and minimal disruption to flight operations across the region. Area forecast discussion, Melbourne. A quiet pattern persists this evening with no major updates, as high pressure remains locked in off the mid-Atlantic, maintaining a steady easterly flow across the peninsula. Soundings continue to show a strong mid-level inversion, acting as a firm cap on vertical development and squashing any meaningful convective chances. This makes for excellent flight conditions across the board, with stable air and VFR ceilings and visibility prevailing. Overnight lows will again favour cooler inland fields and warmer coastal terminals, but no fog or low stratus issues are anticipated. Looking ahead to the weekend, high pressure begins to weaken and gradually shift southward into Sunday, opening the door for a weak front to slide across the region late Sunday into early Monday. While the front lacks strong dynamics, modest surface convergence from the interacting sea breezes may spark a few isolated showers Sunday afternoon and evening. Still, coverage remains low, and flight operations should remain largely unaffected. Temperatures will trend hot, especially inland, where a moderate heat risk may impact ramp personnel and equipment operations. Expect afternoon highs in the upper 80s near the coast and climbing into the 90s inland, with a humid feel. Winds remain a key operational factor. Onshore flow strengthens to 10 to 15 knots during the afternoons, with occasional gusts, particularly near coastal terminals. Overnight, winds relax and shift slightly more southeasterly. Throughout the weekend, ceilings and visibilities are expected to remain VFR, with little to no precipitation. All signs point to continued stable flying weather, with only minor localized wind impacts and heat considerations. Area forecast discussion, Tampa. Prevailing VFR conditions remain with easterly winds in place through most of the period. Winds increase by mid-morning, but are expected to gradually decrease into the late afternoon and evening. The sea breeze may struggle to make it too far inland, so Terminal South may not experience it.